You know that person who never posts anything? Maybe they're a friend, maybe they're a colleague, or maybe that person is you. While everyone else is busy documenting every sunset, every meal, and every holiday, they are just living it. To the outside observer, it might look like they're missing out, but there is a growing realization that these quiet observers might have figured out something the rest of us haven't. The truth is, the less you feel the need to prove your life online, the more real that life actually feels. Think about the last time you posted on social media. Now, think about the last time you thought about posting but decided not to. That gap, that moment of hesitation is where the real story lies. In that split second between opening your camera app and hitting the share button, your brain performs a lightning-fast calculation. You ask yourself, will people like this? Does this make me look successful? Is my life interesting enough to earn validation from hundreds of followers I haven't actually spoken to in years? This is the performance we've all been recruited into. Sociologists have long discussed the concept of masks, the different versions of ourselves we present to the world to control how others perceive us. Social media didn't invent this behavior, but it did put that mask on a global stage with a permanent audience. In the real world, a social blunder might be awkward for a moment and then forgotten. On social media, a bad post or an uncool photo is a permanent record that anyone can judge at any time. When you realize the stakes of this performance, it makes perfect sense why some people choose to walk off the stage entirely. Research shows that nearly 40% of social media users are what experts call lurkers. These are the people who consume content but never contribute. While the word might sound negative, psychological studies suggest that lurking is often a protective mechanism. When you combine the pressure to perform with the constant fear of being judged, something in the human psyche breaks. The exhaustion of comparing your behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highlight reel creates a specific kind of digital anxiety. For the person who doesn't post, their silence isn't a sign of being antisocial, it's a sign of boundaries. They are choosing to protect their sense of control. According to self-determination theory, humans thrive when they feel they're making choices without outside pressure. Social media is the antithesis of this. It is a validation machine where your self-worth is literally quantified by likes, views, and comments. People who opt out of this cycle aren't necessarily hiding. They're often more secure in themselves. Their self-esteem isn't a fluctuating stock price tied to the whims of an algorithm. They value their privacy because they realize that some experiences are actually diminished when they are performed for an audience. A sunset is objectively more beautiful when you're not trying to find the right filter for it. A conversation is more meaningful when you're not mentally drafting a caption to describe it. There is a fascinating paradox in how we use the internet today. Many people who avoid platforms like Instagram or TikTok will still spend hours on YouTube. Why? Because YouTube doesn't demand the same level of social performance. You can learn, laugh, and explore without the pressure of being tracked by your peers. It's passive relationship with content that doesn't trigger the same "am I enough" anxiety that comes with seeing a peer's curated life. Furthermore, people who abstain from social media often report having fewer friends but significantly deeper relationships. They prefer a small circle of people who actually know what is happening in their lives over 1,000 friends who only know the version of them they post online. Quality friendships are a much stronger predictor of long-term happiness than the quantity of digital followers. These individuals aren't checked out. They're often the most observant people in the room. Because they're not focused on broadcasting, they have the mental space to actually listen, to reflect, and to develop a sense of self that exists independently of an audience. Psychologists distinguish between public and private self-consciousness. Public self-consciousness is the constant worry about how you appear to others. Private self-consciousness is the ability to examine your own thoughts and values. By stepping away from the digital stage, you move from "how will this look" to "how does this feel?" This isn't just about being quiet, it's about emotional intelligence. It's about building an identity that doesn't require a consensus to be valid. Choosing not to post isn't an act of fear, it's an act of power. It's a declaration that your private life is valuable enough to be kept private. It's the realization that the game of social media is often rigged. Why compete in a race where everyone else controls the cameras and the narrative? The people who have stepped back are playing a longer, more sustainable game. They are rejecting the performance economy in favor of something rarer, being real.